Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about 5 things you might not have known about in Grand Theft Auto Online. So hopefully we're going to be talking about some secret features, cool details, and tips and tricks that'll help you out along the way. So let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. The first thing you might not know about today is light poles might actually save your life. So typically when we think of light poles in GTA 5, we're pretty annoyed how if you hit them in a car or you run into them, they'll pretty much instantly destroy the helicopter you're in or wreck the car you're driving. However, they might just save your life. Did you know that light poles will actually protect you from C4 explosions? And I would reckon any other type of explosion as well. Now, I'm not talking about the light poles that you can drive through that have traffic lights attached to them. I'm talking about more of the solid wood ones that if you were to hit with your car would not be all that great. If you place a sticky bomb on one side and simply walk to the other, you won't die, even if it explodes, which is kind of interesting. And even to prove this, let's place a sticky bomb roughly the same distance apart, but with no pole in between, and you can see the explosion still occurs. And then I end up dying and Trevor becomes wasted. Now, I wanted to try this out with a couple of other things as well. I was like, well, is it only those wooden telephone poles that works? No, it seems like any object that you can't end up destroying or isn't destructible will have the exact same effect. What's crazy is you can literally be 1.5 feet from that sticky bomb or from that explosive, but if you're on the other side, you won't end up dying. Now, there are some limitations to this. Not every little pole in the game will protect you, as I just found out right here. But who knows? This could be incredibly useful. And it might just save your life one day. Who knows? You might be in a battle or a combat situation, and if you need to make your way towards a light pole, that might be the best idea. So sort of an unsung feature of these wooden indestructible objects that they can actually block explosives, which I think is kind of cool. All right, moving on. At the number 2 spot, I'm sure you guys know from the biker update, there is a cocaine lockup that you can actually acquire. There's actually cocaine props that you can find in the game too. And what's kind of weird is the cocaine bricks that are made in game are actually produced by Vom Feur. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly at all, but Vom Feur, or however you pronounce it, is an Austrian gun manufacturer in game. And apparently, for whatever reason, they also make cocaine. So in case you've never seen a Vom Feur gun, there's actually a hat that you can apply to your character as well. And this is something you can wear, and it definitely says Vom Feur manufacturer. So why a gun manufacturer is deciding to make cocaine, I'm really not too sure. I guess we could ask the same question of the in-game brand Coil. Coil is a car manufacturer, and for whatever reason, they make railguns. So I'm really not too sure what's going on here in the GTA universe when manufacturers of guns and cars are making cocaines and railguns, but regardless, I thought that was a pretty interesting find. Okay, at the number 3 spot today, we've talked about receiving some secret text messages in the past from booty calls. However, this one is not so pleasant. This actually comes from secret mob bosses in the game that will send you not so nice text messages if you complete a certain number of gang attacks. So as I'm sure you know, there's gang attacks in Grand Theft Auto Online. They're a type of side mission, and basically there's 50 of them scattered throughout Los Santos, where you basically just have to kill a number of people within an area, and you'll typically get things like weapons, ammo, snacks, etc. Now, there's different types of gang attacks that you can have. In fact, there's a couple of different gangs. The Lost MC, Merryweather, the Professionals, Rednecks, Carson Avenue Families, Los Santos Vagos, the Ballas, the Armenian Mafia, the Los Santos Triads, the Altruist Cult, the Marabunta Grande, and the Madrazo Cartel. And each one of these gangs has different gang attacks scattered completely across the map. Now, what's interesting is if you do 5 gang attacks from one of these gangs, so let's say the Lost MC, for example, or the Professionals, you'll actually get some very interesting text messages. So if you do this from the Lost MC, you'll actually get a text message from Al Carter, who is a boss member of the Lost MC, who says, "We're going to take you down, a-hole." So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then if you do gang attacks from the Professionals, you'll get a text message from a user called The Boss, who says you won't even see them coming. So I thought that's pretty interesting too. These are secret text messages that you'll get from the bosses of these various gang attacks. Now, I've only seen text messages from the Lost MC guy and the Professionals, but it would be interesting if there was enough to trigger one from Merryweather or maybe even like the Altruist Cult. So maybe try it out for yourself. If you're curious of exactly where all the gang attacks are, you can find them pretty easily, like on the GTA Wiki or something like that. But that's pretty cool and a nice little interesting trick that Rockstar has added into the game. All right, at the number 4 spot, there's this vehicle in GTA 5 that unfortunately hasn't made its way into Grand Theft Auto Online, but would definitely be really cool if it did, and that is the Clown Van. Now, I'm sure the Clown Van was supposed to have more of a purpose in single player. I'm pretty sure it was going to be used for the Sharmuta heist, where Michael and Trevor dressed up as clowns to infiltrate Martin Madrazo's house and steal his safe. But regardless, it wasn't used much in single player, and it's not in online. Now, the Clown Van comes with some pretty unique features. Number one, it has a cool livery on there, which is very unique. It has a red clown nose on the front. It also comes stock with the Clown Van. But by far, the most unique and interesting feature of this van is the noise it makes when sort of the suspension is activated. It makes various beeps and bongs and chimes and, little sounds that sound so interesting when you actually go over bumps. I'll let you take a listen to it right now. Now, the way this is activated is when you go over bumps and the suspension actually changes, that's when you hear those crazy beeps and bops and stuff like that. So if you're driving on a straight road, for the most part, you pretty much won't hear that. So I thought that that was incredibly funny to be going over these little moguls and just hearing all these little chimes and beeps and bops and boops and stuff like that. It's really the funniest thing ever. Now, it makes sense because it's on that vehicle. It's on the Clown Van. But I do think it would be cool to see something like that on other types of vehicles. It might be a little bit silly, but I thought that was super cool. So this makes it one of the most unique vehicles in the game. And it also does beg the question, if it is added into online, as we've seen Rockstar add single-player vehicles to online in the past, would they keep all these unique features on it? Like the stock clown horn, the red nose, would they keep the weird-sounding suspension? That would definitely be interesting to see what Rockstar would do. Okay, and at the number 5 spot today, have you ever wondered who or what is piloting the alien UFOs? Well, today we're going to be finding out. Now, there's only one type of UFO in which you can actually figure out who's the pilot. The one over Mount Chiliad doesn't work. The one over Sandy Shores near like that Jesus Color Mountain, that one doesn't work. The only one where you can see the pilots is above Fort Zancudo. Now, this is by far the most menacing looking UFO. This thing is seriously pretty cool. And on the inside, you can actually see 2 pilots. Now, their bodies and their heads are pretty interesting. The bodies are in these like almost sort of mech transformer looking suits. They're for the most part like steel with like little gold lines going down them. And then the faces are pure black. So it's definitely one of the more interesting things I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure Rockstar just did this as placeholders, but I'm really not too sure what they were thinking here. Now, on the outside of the UFO, it says segregate and rearrange. And on the legs of their characters, you can sort of see the words segregate and rearrange as well. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but our very mysterious alien UFO pilots look nothing like the guy that's trapped under the ice in Fort Zancudo. So if you're expecting that, that's not the case. They also look nothing like the aliens that abduct Michael in that single player mission. So this is pretty unique. Now, I'm not sure if Rockstar ever had plans for our pilots to make an appearance. I would say likely not, given how low detail they are and just how there's almost nothing to them. So I think that that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, they don't really do a whole lot. It was also really hard to focus on them because their alien ship kept moving back and forth. But anyways, that right there is 5 things you might not have known about Grand Theft Auto Online, including some pretty cool tips, secret features, hidden details, and a whole lot more. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If there's anything you think would be cool for a future video like this, I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.